Hey there, welcome back. Friends, today we will try to understand how we can read information from a file and then definitely write it or show it on our console. Now friends, this particular program is taken from our last video, and in here we are creating a file. So why not read that exact file and print it on console directly? Now friends, before proceeding further and before checking out how to read a file, let us try to understand a small little thing which I missed from our last video. Now in here we are creating this handle BW, which stands for buffered writer. Now this handle needs to be closed as well, which is a best practice. So in here we will simply close this handle after our write operation is done, which is a best practice. So in here we will simply type in bw.close. So this is a thing which we have missed. Now moving forward, once everything is done, once our file is created and content is written to the file, we will try to read it. So in here, we will proceed further and make use buffered reader. So it would be like buffered reader, br equals new buffered reader, and inside pair of parentheses, we will pass on object of file reader. So in here I will type in file reader, and we need to create a new object. So in here I will type in new file reader, and we need to also pass on the path. So the path is here. Let me copy this and paste it in here. Alright, so this looks good, and we need to also do one thing. We need to surround this using try catch. So this looks good to me, and we will later down the line add the content inside the catch block. First of all, let's try to read it. Now we have this handle of this file, and using this handle we can read information, and in order to read information we need to traverse the file itself. For doing so, we will make use of while loop. So we will type in while, and inside this while loop we will make use of this handle br. So we will type in br dot read line, and when we will stop reading the line, definitely till the point we reach the null pointer. So we will type in not equal to null. Alright, now friends, the information which this br.read line will read, this particular information would be returned, and this information would be in the form of a string. So first of all, we need to create a string. So I will type in string line, and in here we will type in line equals br.readline, and again in here we need to do one more thing. We need to surround this particular operation in between pair of parentheses. Let me show you how. Once we surround this operation in between pair of parentheses, what would be the impact? This is an operation where we are trying to read the line and then assign the value to this line, and once this operation gives us null, then this while loop will end, the condition will go false. Now this is interesting and a good solution. In here we are making use of pair of parentheses so that this operation which is highlighted will be performed first and the final result would be compared, right? So this comparison, this pair of parentheses will solve our purpose, and our while loop will give us a proper output. Now apart from this, in here we are making use of pair of parentheses before, because we want a specific point where the try block would be checking your exception handling. The implementation is good, whereas in here we have multiple scenarios, we have multiple catches. So as a result, we will not make use of pair of parentheses directly on catch. What do we mean by this? If I hover upon this, there is a yet another unhandled exception. So we will make use of pair of braces rather than pair of parentheses on try block directly. So in here we will hover upon this error and we will add a yet another catch block, and that's it. Now the next thing is printing this particular information on console, which is pretty simple. We will type in sysout and print the line. Alright, so we will add proper statements inside these catch blocks in a minute. First of all, let us execute the program and try to check whether our program works properly or not. So here is our program and it is working properly. It is showing up a proper result. Let me do one thing. Let me open this team.txt. Let me get rid of this. Let me save team.txt and try to rerun this application. Here is the output. So everything is working properly, and in order to give you a better output, let me do one more thing. Let me add a separator as well. So in here, let me add a couple of stars so that we can able to identify where we are giving a proper output on the console. So here is the separator, here is the output, which is perfect. Alright, now finally let us add two very simple statements for sake of completion, I would say. Alright, so this is cool, and finally let's do one small little thing. In here I will type in br.close. That's it, our work is done and our application should work properly. Here we go. So this is all about today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. In our next video we will try to understand how to read files using a scanner class. So that would be again interesting. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.